What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Earn It, Save It, Invest It. This is week 27 of my $100,000 stock market challenge. So I'm going to go over what I've done in my portfolio, what kind of moves I've made, what I think is going to happen in the stock market, and just like what the vibe and energy and everything is in the stock market, what I think is going to happen. So if you can, go ahead and please give a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I'm just going to get down to this 100K challenge right now. Let's break it down. So I currently have $8,752 in this account. Now, I have my biggest weighted at TQQQ, HIMS, Meta, Celsius, Amazon, Fubo, Nike, Adobe, and AAII. And as you can see, if you at all have been following me, my cash position has increased to 13%, which is well more than what I want. But if you notice also, my Nike position has gone down tremendously. I cut it in half. I sold 8 shares. Now I'm left with 8. So I only have 8 left of Nike. And I'll kind of go over that in a minute. But right now, TQQ did okay. The 1 week performance, obviously, everyone has done okay. Fubo has not been performing well at all lately. In fact, it's for the last month, 2 months, it really hasn't done anything. In fact, it's gone down. It's 285. So it's one of my only losing positions, Fubo and AAII. AAII I bought at 21.86, and I actually bought 1 share, I think at like 18 something. So I had a feeling it would come back up, and I still think AAII has a long way to go up. But my focus will be on Meta. HIMS, I did also shave 10 shares at $58 in the beginning of October. I just knew something was going to happen, and well, it did. It dropped tremendously over the last 2 months, so that was a good call as well. But I will be focusing on Meta. I'm going to be focusing on making this position size bigger. Obviously, as you can see with this position, right, it's my top weighted position is $1,687, but it's gone up $1,000. So I really only started this position with $600. Right here for Meta, it's valued at just over $1,000, and its total change is $228. So I really started this at a little less than $800, about $775, right? Or about actually $800 exactly, right? So Meta, even though my capital investment is more than this, I still want to start going into more Meta. And I might actually even consider buying Celsius at this price, to be honest with you. I do believe it's gonna, but as you can see, I have 800 into that, and there's certain stocks that I don't want to go too much into. So that's just that. This is the transaction history. Like I said, I sold 8 shares of Nike at $65.76, and for a total amount of $526. And then I bought Meta. I'm buying fractional shares, as you can see. I bought 0.15 shares at $662.39, and I bought $100 worth. And then of course, I put in my $50 deposit every week. So a total of $476 back to my account. So I need to make some buys. I am going to make some buys this month, and I'm going to feel good about it. And I don't even care if the stock market goes down in January. I'm going to make some buys. I'm still going to hold on to a little bit of cash, so I can make some buys when things fall. Like Meta right now is at a really cheap price, and I wish I had bought a little bit more when Meta went down even more. But you know, today's the 5th, Friday. I bought this on Thursday, Meta, right, $662. It's a little bit more than that right now, but I wish I had bought it. It was all the way down to $600, basically. So I wish I had gotten it then, but it is what it is. I'm not going to complain. I'm still going to just buy into that. I'm currently, again, at week 27. My goal is $9,497. I am not there. I'm at $8,751.15, and I've told everyone from the beginning, I started this challenge at a very high point in the year. HIMS was already on a run. HIMS was my biggest weighted position. And so where I started this challenge, my portfolio was already at the high point of volatility in the sense of like, I was making the gains, I was doing that. So I knew at some point I would come crashing down, and the starting point was going to make it slightly harder to achieve the short-term goals. But in the long term, getting to $100,000 in 520 weeks, whatever, that's going to be still completely doable, right? So over the next 10 to 20 weeks, right, still might not be reaching my goal, but over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, I will completely be surpassing my goal, I think. So my weekly change, the last 2 weeks has been good. Last week I was up about 8%. This week, just over 1%. Against the goal, I'm still about -7, almost 8% away from my goal. So obviously I still have some making up to do. But once HIMS goes on a run, I'll be doing good. Once Celsius goes on a run, I'll be good. Once Meta goes back to where it should be, I'll be doing well. So I feel confident in that. Fubo, I have a lot in Fubo. I have like $800 into Fubo. Maybe 7. Like I think Fubo will go up eventually here in the next earnings as the years go up. But right now, it's just not doing anything. 19% is my performance since June 2nd. But remember, that is including my $50 deposits, right? So my portfolio has gone up 19% since then. But this is also including my $50 deposits. If you take away my $50 deposits, I am only at 0.64%, right? Now this right here, this should show you the biggest thing about making consistent deposits, right? If I did not make any deposits, I'd be at 0.64, right? I'd still be basically at my starting position, which was $7,354, right? That's where I would be. But instead, I've been making $50 deposits every single week. It's giving me a chance to buy into other stocks, right? I'm still managing it, right? I made a couple sells. I sold some Nike, sold some HIMS, right? I'm buying Adobe, but right, I'm actively managing it. But I am just, I am not actively. I am actively depositing, but I'm just not thinking about it, right? I can't even think of the word. I'm brain farting right now, but it's just automatic, right? And I don't even have to think about it. Whereas in everything else is not automatic, right? The buys and the sells and everything are not automatic. It's very precise and purposeful and all that. The $50 deposits that I make every single week are just, it's purposeful, but I don't think about it. It just happens. So doing that every single week, I think helps so much. And this is just proof right here, right? I'd be at nothing right now. I'd be literally at nothing because HIMS has gone up and then down, up and down, and it's gone back down to where it was basically in June. So not fun, but it is what it is. The AAII Sentiment, this is again where a bunch of investors come together and they take a survey, see how every week to see how they feel about the stock market. And as you can see, this was right after Thanksgiving week. And everyone was feeling so good. I'm sure if I went back in the historical sentiment that the week right after Thanksgiving is probably just always amazing, right? Because people were feeling like, oh, it's good, right? There's also called a Santa Claus rally, right? Where stocks go up in December because, there's a lot of sales happening and a lot of people are like, well, the business is going to do good. The earnings are going to be good in the fourth quarter. So we could have a Santa Claus rally, but be careful for the certain stocks that will be getting hit with the tax loss harvesting. The special question was, what do you like to eat on Thanksgiving? Turkey. I don't like turkey that much, so whatever. We're still in the fear. This is the CNN Fear and Greed Index. Now we are still in the fear. We're out of the extreme fear, which we were in for a minute, and this is what I said was probably going to happen, was that we're pop back up to fear, maybe even get into the neutral. I don't know if we're going to get greedy yet. If we do, it's going to be the later part of December. And this thing, if we do, it's going to have to continue to just move. It's not going to be, we're going to bounce up and then bounce back down. In December, if we hit greed, that means we're going to be ending the year in greed probably. If not, we will still end in neutral where maybe some things go up, some things go down. The Fed, maybe they say something that spooks the market. I don't know what. We always have Trump. He can always say something, tweet something, right? Whatever. So we just don't know. But I do believe we're going to be sticking. We're not going to be really going anywhere lower than what this is right now at 40. I don't think we're really going to go lower than a 40, but I also don't know if we're going to go higher than like a 55 or 60. We kind of might be hovering around these areas, and if we do, we're going to be ending off the month in greed. That's just my opinion. Now I'm going to go over some stock charts just really quick. Oopsies. Where is it? There it is. This is Meta. And like I said right here, right? It got under 600. That was a great time. When you look at these charts, when you look at Meta, first of all, one thing you need to see about Meta is it gives you a lot of buying opportunities. One thing I really noticed about it, but let's look at the whole chart really quick, right? Meta, from the beginning of its IPO, right? And obviously, most IPOs and everything, they start to crash, right? They crash a little bit, and then they actually start to gain the momentum and realization of who they are. But it started at 43, and it ended up going all the way to 18, right? So it cut in half within what, from May 2012 to September, so in about 6-7 months or something, right? Or like, yeah, maybe less than 6 months, it got cut in half. Then from there, it never saw that low again, right? 18, this was its lowest ever, right here, September 4th, Tuesday, September 4th of 2012. It has never been lower than this price, right? 17 something. It was that price, and you've never been able to get Meta even close or remotely to that, right? Oh, okay, maybe right here, right? But anyway, it's constantly gone up. And there's been a few drawbacks. I mean, this one is probably one I never even drew. Let's just do this one really quick. What is this one? This is a 22%, right? So you look at that, it gives you a 22% drop. Then over here, it gives you 15%. Then another 14, then another 15, then another 13, right? Then we get a 21. Then we get a 43% drop, a 17% drop, 15% drop, a 36% drop. That was what, COVID? Yep, that was COVID, right? And then after that, we get 13% drop. Then we get an 18%. Then we get a 14, and then we get the mother load. We get the mother of all of them. We get the 76% drop in 2022. I really wish I had bought more than then. I was going through a lot of personal issues, so I was just not in the right mindset to be doing anything. I want to blow myself up. 13% drop later on, and 12% drop. Then it goes to 20% drop. Then we have 16% drop, 34% drop as of recently, and then a 25% drop that just happened. Meta gives you so many opportunities to buy into it. Meta is one of the biggest, like, I can probably go through Amazon, and I don't know if it's going to have that many, like, that many drops since 2012. Like, this thing has gone through its times, but it doesn't crash 15% constantly. Meta is constantly crashing 15% here and there, So my point is, there's going to be these stocks that give you these opportunities, and when you see it, you should grab it, right? Not most of the times when this thing is hitting down at the bottom of this triangle, you're not seeing these numbers that often, right? Moving forward, right? You may say, oh yeah, maybe in the future I'll be able to buy something at this again. Yeah, but you don't know that. Why would you want to time it out in the future? Just time it out now, get something now. So that's where I'm kind of at right now. I'm going to really be looking into Meta. The VIX, as you can see, super low, not doing anything, staying around right here in the teens now. Let's see. I mean, when you look at it, it kind of doesn't really go under 13, under 14, right? Very often, at least for a little while now. So let's see. Is anything going to pick it up? Right? Is anything going to make the market spook? This is the market. It's pretty Christmassy. We got some red, got some green, right? Google, Microsoft down for the week. Apple and Nvidia up. Meta's up. Oracle up. Palantir up, a lot of people up, Broadcom down, Berkshire down, Visa down, very little. But very Christmassy, right? We got a lot of red and green just all over the place, kind of a mixed bag. So, that's that. I'm not going to go too much into it. Where am I here? There I am. That's my week 27, my $100,000 challenge. I'm trying to do the best I can with it right now. Like I said, I am personally, my stock portfolio is going through a rut because of my biggest weighted positions have fallen, right? Hims and Celsius fallen. Nike was one of my biggest positions, hasn't done anything, right? TQQQ is the only one that's done anything, and that is such a high risk stock. It is a 3x leverage, and it's just that thing can drop 30% like this. It can. So I need to make sure I'm positioning myself into other stocks like a Meta, like an Amazon, like a Google maybe. Google has just really shot up recently, and I don't really want to buy into it right now, but I do really believe in Google. I believe in Waymo. So I still have some decisions to make. I'm going to build maybe a little bit on my Adobe still some more because I don't have too much in Adobe. So I'll probably be putting a few hundred of the dollars that I have, because I have about 1,100, something like that. I'm going to be putting a lot of it into Meta and Adobe, at least for sure, and then maybe pick up a new stock. So yeah, that's week 27, my $100,000 stock market challenge. If you like this, please give a like and subscribe. I appreciate everyone who watches this, seriously. I know this is not the craziest. I'm not like some stock market facade, and I don't know all this stuff. But I think I can perform pretty well. I can look into stocks. I look into the financials, and I'm looking into the momentum, and I'm really looking into long term. I'm not looking into short term, but obviously I've made a few short term moves in a way, right? The Hims, I sold the 10 Hims, and it's just like I had a gut feeling, and I just really put my money where my mouth was in that sense. Plus, I always feel like it's a good idea to try to take out your capital investment if you can, if you're already riding on some good profits, and use that in capital somewhere else. So anyway, yeah, go ahead and give a like and subscribe. I really appreciate everyone who watches this stuff, and never forget to earn it, save it, invest it, buy low, sell high. I want assets, not liabilities, and you can count on compounded interest.